I'm getting
Should we set it
it.
to be in your
Yeah.
assignment, or what do you think before we continue?
Okay, what if I say the error? I found the error of which I'm saying
Okay, if you find an error, okay, you can share with us your screen.
How will I share code? Totally difficult. I'm using a laptop at the same time I'm using a phone to Zoom.
Which one is connected to the internet, phone or laptop?
Both, but I'm not using laptop to Zoom.
Hmm.
I'm using a phone.
Okay, I will sort the issue person, but I
Or you
think
can just do a recap on that assignment I see. Just something also members of team. And
okay.
just learn how.
Oh, ni sawa. We can we can do a recap. Remember that was a combination of two two what? It was a combination of two commands. Sawa sawa. The command for under and the command for what? For limit. Sawa sawa. So we combine those two. Okay. I think give I should include that question in your project. Go and think about it. But the question is very simple. You just use underby before you insert semicolon. You use limit. Limit 3. Limit. Okay, I will do a recap on the same. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was on lesson number 2. So we open the file. Those who are unable to do the same, you click on open the file first. You click on open the file. Then let me share my screen. Let me share my screen with you. Okay, so you open your workbench like this. You click on files, then open SQL script. Yesterday was for day 2, lesson 2. We open it. After opening it, we talked of some commands here. The command was for the command. Those who are joining class late, please. The class was for selecting. Okay, this one here. Check. Check. Remember, we enter database called store. Then we have the customer. From customer, you can select everything in this table. So. Then from there you can apply the order by, uh, So this is for descending order. This is for ascending order. So you remember by default, order by clause will return data in ascending order. So for example, this one, when you run that particular command, you will notice that the first name is arranged in alphabetical order. So in alphabetical order. Yes, it's called. I can see you have raised your hand.
Yes, I'm asking.
Yes.
Please go back to your presentation. Your where you present the SQL, MySQL.
Okay. This is just a recap of what we did yesterday before we continue. So the command for selecting the whole table the customer table and stone database is this simple command here. Now let me ask you a simple question.
Okay.
You see this is we have semicolon here. If I insert semicolon here, what happens?
You won't run.
No, it will run. But now you remember yesterday I told you that semicolon directs the compiler, or this is just a condition for the compiler that this is the end of a particular command. Sawa sawa.
Sir, I haven't asked my question yet.
Sawa sawa. You will ask it. Now, when I execute this command here, you'll notice that I have all the data in that particular table. You will notice that the first names are not arranged in alphabetical order. We have the Abul here, we have the Barbara here. They are like that. But when you remove this semicolon there, it means this command here ends here. So that is the difference. So when I execute this particular command, you will notice that the names or the whole database has been arranged in ascending order. When you add the desk, you arrange in descending order. So okay. Now this is for descending order. Now I ask you to do something to limit or to get the loyal clients, the loyal customers using point. So now when you execute this command, you will notice that let me Honda. I'm doing assignment actually. This we expect this to be in your assignment. So we select everything from store dot customers so from customers, then we order by let me break this on here. Order by point. So order by point. What are we up to this point? Up to that point, you can see what is happening here. We are starting from the small to the largest. Now I want to get the loyal customers. The loyal customers, they are the ones with more points, the highest point. So now I rearrange this in descending order. So I rearrange in descending order. So we expect these are the customers. So but now how do we select the first three? Before we terminate, we can limit. Now we can apply limit. How many are we limiting? We are limiting just 3, isn't it? What happens? Okay, so that is how you can do that question. That's how you can do that question. So expect this kind of settings for your project. So yes, Del.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
what if we want to, from the same example that you used,
Yes.
what if we want to limit, or we just want to select, we want to see all only the customers who have 1,000 points and above?
Okay. I think that's what we are supposed to cover today. Is it today? I have captured those things somewhere. But let me show you. Let me show you.
Okay.
We have some things that we call the operators, the logic operators in structured query language. Before I answer you, Scholar, I have seen you have raised your hand. What do you have to say?
I was asking, that is
Yes.
why I was telling you to go back to your MySQL because that is where my question is.
To the MySQL.
Yes,
MySQL command or MySQL workbench. I
the
don't.
workbench.
The workbench. This is the
Yes,
workbench. We are using workbench. This is it.
yes. No, yes. No, I'm asking.
Yes.
You see how you have query one and then you have commands lesson two.
Yes.
Assuming query one is what we did yesterday,
Yes.
and then we run codes, and then the action output has this one,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So now we come to command lesson two.
Uh-huh.
When I try to run,
Yes.
it cancels, where if ina cancel hapa hizi action outputs
Yes.
bado za chenye nilifanya jana, they're still there, so it's not running.
Is it possible you share with us your screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Share with it. Share with us. Share with us your screen. We are waiting to see. Just open the workbench.
Okay, can you see?
Yes, we can see.
So I'm saying, you see these two, this
Yes.
one, this one, and this one, they were for this one.
Yes.
No, this one.
Yes.
So when I come here and try to run the way you run now,
Uh-huh.
it shows me this one.
Unknown database store. Do you have that store on database?
Where?
Doesn't look like it.
So where should it be
Refresh.
at?
Refresh Apple. So it means you don't have a store database with you. So try to run the code. Open the file. Click on files. Open script. Enda pale kwa ulisave the databases.
Hapa.
No, kuna file ilikuwa inaitwa databases yenye ilikuwa na HR, invoicing, ilikuwa zipped folder.
Sidhani niko nayo.
I think that's what you are lacking. Eh?
Okay.
So try to download them. Sawa.
Okay. Yeah.
Or I can forward to your machine. Ama? Okay.
If it's
Just
possible.
go and download them. They are on our group. The WhatsApp
Okay.
group. The WhatsApp group. We have a zipped folder called the databases. Unzip that folder. Copy those
That
files.
one.
Let me see. Yes, very good. That one. Sawa. Enda kwa hiyo iko chini.
Okay.
I want to copy the four of them. Highlight the four databases. control all, ama utatoa moja moja?
Yoyote tu.
Sawa. Copy moja using, yes, copy,
Copy files to clipboard.
yes,
And then
enda uipaste pahali kwa folder
okay.
pahali utaichukua. Sawa sawa.
Sawa. Okay, thank you.
Okay, na ukope hizo zingine, then utarun those scripts. Sawa sawa. Now
Okay.
we want to select I was talking of logical operators in SQL. You can select a range of data. You can select data that are less than some point, or you can do anything there. But now I want you to check here. For example, when I call this one here, when I call this table, I see we have point here. Now we want to select data with the point greater than or equal to 1,000, greater than or equal to 1,000. Sawa sawa. What do we do before we?
Excuse me.
Yes.
How do you create that table? Okay, I have the commands and so on, but I don't have those. I don't know how to create that table. Please, can I share my screen?
Yes, you can share. We are waiting for you. And what do we do? I can continue as he shares as he shares the screen. So.
It's not okay. It's not sharing.
Okay, let me answer that question. What we I want you to check here keenly. I want to open the store database. So. Database store. I want you to check here. You remember the syntax for creating a table is very simple. From the first,
I think you are not sharing your screen.
pardon?
Are you sharing your screen?
Let me share. Let me share my screen. Okay, this is the code. This is the code for creating this particular database. So, you remember when we were creating a sample database called school, we created a table, and under that table we inserted some value. We didn't insert some values actually, but we just wrote the syntax of that particular table. So. Now, a table called customers. Let me open it. This is the table. This is the table called customers. This command is responsible for creating that particular table. So we create a table customers. We have the customer ID. It is integer of size 11, and it should have values. The auto increment means the values on that the ID, it can be different. So then we have the first name varchar of size 50, not null. We have the last name varchar size 50, not null, blah 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 mpaka hapo. So the primary key under this one is the customer ID. So the customer ID. Now after that, after creating that particular table, we inserted some values. So you remember when I was talking about insert command, the syntax was very simple. We insert int, you specify the customer name, the table name, values, then you specify those values. Remember, I said for strings, we use this. How do we call this? We close those ones. Is this the quotations? This single speech mark, the single speech mark, I don't know how you call them in English. That's what we use to specify a string value, but we use on integers, we use just values the way they are. When we executed this command is when we created this particular table here, this one now. Sawa sawa. Niliona if we create one by one, hata wiki moja aingetosha ku create those databases. That's why I shared the concept directly with you. Umepata sasa?
Yes.
Okay. Now we want to select values with the point greater than 1,000. Kabila, you can unmute yourself. Yes. Yes, yeah.
Like hapo kwa creating the tables umesema tunafaa kutumia single quote, si ile double quote.
Yes.
Kuna shida tukitumia hiyo double quote?
Just try. That's why you are a scholar. Try and see what will happen. But the syntax is
Sinaona nikiweka naona nikiweka inakuwa created na unasema tunafaa kutumia single. So see any difference?
So that very good. So you can use even the double, sawa. But I was taught to use a single. I don't know why. Sawa. So let's continue. Okay, let's continue. Now I want to select from customers with the point greater than or equal to 1,000. So before I close, I check where point is greater or equal to 1,000. 1,000. Sawa. Is greater or equal to 1,000. The command is very simple. It will return everything that is corresponds to your command. Sawa. Mwenye alikuwa ameuliza hilo swali, umepata? I think you are now okay.
Yes, I'm now okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. And even if you want something that is less, you can use less than. Send less than or equal to 1,000. Let's see. You can see them. Huh? We have those values here. So. And you can select even those that are less than 1,000. Then where state. Let's see, for example, and state is equal to VA. So you can apply two conditions in one command. Sawa. Okay. So I think we can start with what we were supposed to do for today. Send. Okay, let's open the 3 command. So you select your files, you open scripts called the 3 here, you open it. So you open it. Okay, let's continue now. distinct function. What do you understand by the name distinct? Distinct will, the select distinct statement is used to return only distinct on different values. What do you understand by that statement? Unique values. Sawa sawa. Are we together? Guys, are we together? Ladies, munapata?
Yes, we are.
Okay, let's continue. Returning distinct values, let's demonstrate using the store database. Okay, we have a command here called use. Use store. A command use in database or in MySQL is used to specify where operations or which database will your operations be based on. So when I say use store, I expect every operation down here to be directed directly to the store database. So when I execute the command, you will notice that the store is in now bold. The store will be in bold, sindio, in those particular databases. This one will be in bold. You can see yourself. Now I can select the customers, the table that we want to demonstrate with. Now I can select only one what? I can select only one column. Remember the syntax for selecting a single column is very simple. Remember very well we said when you use this star, it means you are selecting everything in that particular what? In that particular customer, in the entries for customer table. So. But when you say select state from customers, this command will only select a column called what? State. So these are all the entries, but when I execute this particular command here, you can see what I have is we have only state. So. And if you want to add another column in that particular, you can use let's say we want to add point. For example, you want to add point, you can execute the command and say you have state and a point. But for demonstration purposes, let's use the state. So let's use the state. Now I can select only distinct values. Only distinct values that are different from others. So the command for selecting distinct, for returning distinct values is very simple. Is the syntax is select distinct state from customers. So this command will return unique values and state variables. So these are the variables. When I execute the command, you will notice that we are getting only the unique values. Only the unique values. Now, who can recall what I said? How about the ask command in MySQL? How do we use ask command? I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Joseph Osore, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, how do we use ask command? Do you remember?
I told you I've started the lessons today.
Okay. Now, as command in SQL is used to change. Yes, Kabila? Kabila, you can.
Like I wanted to say,
Hey, hiyo sauti yako inasumbua. I don't know why.
The as is used to give. Eh, bado unisikii?
Tunakupata?
Hello?
Yes. We are here.
Kwa nasema hiyo as unauliza
Aha.
ilikuwa like unaona hapo chini. Hebu fungua MySQL yako.
Yes.
Sasa hiyo as unasema for example in the last command tumerun saa hii
Aha.
hapo juu imeandikwa state.
Aha.
So in case tulikuwa tunataka kuview distinct state but tunataka kuweka jina ingine hapo like distinct countries, so tunaweka as countries. Sasa hapo chini instead of state ingekuwa countries.
Okay. Okay, very good. What about will it only be country or the whole of this word?
No, like unaona hapo chini, hebu move your cursor to the where we have the result of the command.
Aha. Hapa.
Yeah, hapo
Aha.
if hapo juu tungesema select distinct states as countries, hapo juu ndio ingeandikwa countries, alafu chini ingebaki vile iko tu.
Hapa juu ndio ingeandikwa countries, lakini hapa ibaki tu ikiwa hivi.
Unaona hapo penye una point saa hii?
Yes.
Ingeandikwa countries.
Yes. Very good.
Alafu hizo tx il zingebaki vile ziko.
Very good, very good. That's actually that is the correct answer for that question. As command I sent is used to change the variable name. Sawa is used to change the variable name. Sawa. Let's see. For example, selecting distinct state as country state. When I execute only that line, you will notice that no, let me run up to here, up to that point, for example. You can see what we have here is country state. So the name has changed from state to country state. So then we have the names of those indistinct values. What will this command do before we continue? This limit 3. What will it do? We have the command, we have the descriptions here. So this command will return the first 3, isn't it? That is the use of limit. So I can limit 4, for example 5. If I limit 5, I will just get 5 entries. That is how we use that part. Okay, I remember actually there was a lady who, is it a lady or a gentleman, who was saying the workbench yake haina navigator. Sawa. Alikuwa anasema workbench yake haina navigator, but iko nayo. So hizi lines zikiwa zinaanzia huku, you will be using this part here. You'll be using this part. Check the first box here. If you click it, everything will start from this part. So you don't have the navigator. If you click it again, inarudi pale ilikuwa. Sawa. Another lady akasema ana the output part. Output part tulisema what you do, hii kitu inakuwa imeshikana yote hivi, sawa sawa, inakuwa like that So when you bring your cursor here between these lines here, it will give you option to expand either downwards or upwards. You right click and expand downward, sawa sawa. So utabaki na your output window there. Okay, let's continue. We have something we call the sum function. SQL sum function is used to find out the sum of fields in various records. So let's demonstrate this one using what? Which database are we using here? I want to see if you are keen on what we are doing. Which database are we using here? You just execute this code here. This is invoicing database. So and under that invoicing database, we have the payment table. If we run that payment table, you will note that the payment table we have under payment table we have the payment ID, the client ID, invoice ID, date, amount, and payment method. So now we want to calculate how the amount that were paid and the amount, for example. So are we together? Are we together up to that point?
Yes.
Okay. So the command for sum is very simple. You select, you sum amount. Check here. Select sum amount from invoicing.payment. This is the payment table from the invoicing database. So that is the table that we are dealing with. So we select only the sum. We are selecting sum. Now, when you type here sum, this is an operation that will be performed by the compiler. So this function will be performed by the compiler, and it will return only sum of values and amount variable. So the command, let's execute the command. Okay, we have the sum of amount is 361.38. So you can use SQL as what? As calculator. You can sum everything there, and you can sum even values that are, let's say, for example, greater than how many? What's the range here? The range is from 8 to 87. You can sum values that are greater than 50. Select sum amount where amount is greater than 50 from invoicing payment. Guys, I think you can now combine more conditions in one single command. Sawa. Are we together? Sawa.
Yes.
Now you can research on how to return sum by group or by class. So for example, I can sum the amount here where the client ID ranges from 3 to 5. Do you understand? Think about it. Think about it. And do more research. We have something we call the average. Averages, they are almost the same as okay, this is the condition. So you can apply this to do something here. So expect this question to be in your project. Okay, you can select everything from invoicing.invoices. This is a table called invoices. A table called invoices has the invoice ID, numbers, client ID, invoice total, payment total, invoice date, due date, payment date. So we can select average of invoice total of the invoice total. You can see we have the invoice total here. But now I want to select the average from this invoice totals where the invoice date is greater than this date here. What do you understand by this statement? It means you are directing the compiler to return values, to return the average of invoice totals for the period greater than date 1/6/2019, the year 2019. So from June date 1, remember the syntax for years, for date, we talked about it on our first presentation. The syntax is very simple. We start with the year, month, and the date. So this is 1st of June 2019. So our compiler will return values that were recorded from day 2 of June 2019. So I think you can see how useful SQL is important as far as businesses is concerned. You can return. Now imagine of a very big company. You want to return all values, all the sales that were done from the year 2023. We assume that database has entries of, let's say, 5 million or 2 million entries, those big databases. Without this simple syntax here, you cannot return that particular data. So this is the table. You can return this particular here. When we execute the command, we will have the average here. We will have the average here. Remember, the average is for invoice totals that were recorded after date 1 of June 2019. You may understand that command. Have you understood that particular command? Ladies, wenye mko kwa nyumba, I want to hear from you. Yes, Mercy?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
About from where you started the inserting the tables.
Yes.
My outfit isn't running.
You can share with us your screen.
Just a moment.
Okay. Share the screen. Okay, as we can be looking on something called the count function, as our sister is sharing the screen.
Before then, I have a question.
Yes.
So I was thinking if you wanted to maybe show the average between maybe 2019 601 to maybe there about 2019 701, something of that sort. How would
Okay.
you separate the dates?
The range, sindio? We use something we call them between function. The syntax is very simple. Sawa. Okay, able to jib the our lender here, then we continue. I will handle your question, Mr. Benson, as we continue. Yes, our sister, what's the problem? Mercy? What's the problem? Mercy Faith amepotea. Mercy, you can speak. We are waiting for you. Okay, Benson, I think we...
So
Yes? Okay, let's continue. Mr. Benson, we want to select a specific range. In SQL, we use the between command, and the syntax is very simple. Which range? Let's select between 2019-06-01 and 2019-07-1. Sawa. Let's select this simple, and now I want to return where invoice where invoice date. See now, I want to return where invoice date is between what? Is between is between 2019 06 01. Sawa. And 2019 07 2019 07 that one. We close, then we terminate the process. You can see that is the average for that particular data, for that particular entry.
Thank you.
Okay, that is it. So in logical operators, I advise you to go and do more research, because even if we will start learning them today, hatutamaliza only those operators, but now you can see we have anything is possible here. So anything is possible. Let me preserve my notes the way they were. The count function, let us do the count function. The count function will return the number of rows that match a specific criteria. For example, you can count the invoice totals. Let's have this table here. This is the table. So we have 19 entries. Under these 19 entries, I can count the number of entries or the number of rows that contains values with invoice total greater than or equal to 160, for example. This is the invoice total. Or let's see what will happen if we return 0. Invoice totals, they are greater than or equal to 0. Let's return. You can see we have 17 entries, and invoice totals here. Let me see. Well, I'm getting 17. Let me try to return more complex numbers. We can return 150, for example. Let's see. From 150, we have 10. We have 10 entries. Try to do something on altering or changing the numbers of entries here, and see what we will be getting here. Let me do a command here. We select everything here. Select everything from what? From invoicing. Invoicing.invoices. Invoices. Where I want us to do something here. Where invoice total, where invoice total is greater than or equal to 150. Then I terminate my process. In where class, let me see.
Spelling, check the spelling of invoice.
Oh, here. Invoice, Okay, we have them here. How many are they? Let's return 170. Let's return 170. We have how many? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 of them, Cindy. Let's return here 170 and see what is the difference. What is the difference? we have 4. So we have 4 here. I think that's how we use the count function in SQL. That's how we use that particular function in SQL. Distinct, we have covered the distinct. Select distinct. Oh, this repetition. We have done some. Okay, let's do the minimum and maximum functions. Minimum and maximum functions in SQL. Minimum function, it will return the smallest value of the selected column. So, and the maximum value, the maximum function I mean, will return the largest value of the selected column. So of the selected column. So the syntax is very simple. You select minimum from a certain column. So the syntax is select minimum, then you give or you specify the column name where you want the minimum value from. Then from the table name, then you can add the condition. You can add the condition if you want. So the syntax is the syntax for maximum is similar to the minimum, but you change minimum to maximum. Then you insert the where clause. Where condition. If you select or if you view this row or this table here, if you view this table, you can select minimum value from payment totals from this particular column, this one. So you select minimum payment from payment table column from the invoices table. So what happens? You can execute the command and see we have 0. 0 is the minimum value. 0 is the minimum value. But you can now add the where clause. You can add where clause. For example, check. We want to select from invoices, then invoicing.invoices. We can select where payment, where invoice total is let's see where invoice total, we can select where invoice total is greater than 100. is greater than 100. What do you think will happen before we execute this particular command? Before we execute this command, we know that these are the minimum values. The 0 is the minimum value. If I execute this command, expect to get the minimum value because where we have specified or where we have given the condition for the invoice total to be greater than 100, we have the values that are zeros. So we have values that are zeros. What of less than? Let's see what will happen. Less than, we have null. Why do we have null? I want to hear from you, because I have explained the reason why we have got the value for maximum, for the minimum with greater than 100. But now we are getting null, empty. Why? I want to hear from you. Scholar, where are you? Yes, Ezekiel, you can unmute and speak. You can. Who can tell us why are we getting zero? Why are we getting null here? Because of the less than condition. Who can tell us the reason?
I probably need to verify that, but I think it's because all the totals are above 100. All the invoice totals.
Anybody else? Another person? Waku, I want to hear from you. What do you think? You will note that where are ladies in the group? Ladies, ake msitunyamazie, si ndio? Ladies, what do you think? Where is Faith? Okay, let's continue. If you check keenly here, we have values here that are 0. The minimum is 0. We have 0 here, we have 0 here, we have 0, we have 0. But the invoice totals, they are greater than 100. That's why when we insert greater than here, we expect to get a value that is 0. So we expect to get a value that is 0. Because zeros corresponds with a value, any value that is greater than 100. And we see that this logic operation here is correct. So we can see here 0, 100, and 50. So when we execute the command, we expect to get 0. So that is 0. But when we use less than, we have null. We have 0 because we don't have a value here on payment total that is 0 and is corresponding to an invoice total that is less than 100. I think that concept is very clear. Sindio? That syntax is very clear. I want us to check on the other part here. That is the select maximum payment total. So select maximum payment total from invoicing let's see if we select up to that point. You can see what we have here. We have 87.44. That is the maximum payment total from invoices table. So from invoices table. But now we can apply more conditions in selecting them. That is the maximum number. But now I want to return that maximum number where the invoice total is between a specific range. Where the invoice total is between a specific range. Are you getting me? We know here, let me copy this one. From these values here, this command will return the maximum value under payment and the payment total, this one here, these values here. But now we are limiting it to pick that maximum value from a specific range on invoice total. Are we together up to that point before we continue? Guys, are we on the same boat?
Yes.
We are
Yes.
together up to that point.
Yes, we are.
Now, I want you to think of criteria that can be used to select, let's say, minimum or maximum value using the date, either the invoice date or the due date, I want you to tell me one. Now let's finish this one first here. So this is the table. So I select from these invoices where invoice total is between 120 and 150. Let's select and see. We can see we have only what? Only that particular value. But now let us try to return all the values that range between here, between that one. No, let's do it here. So we select everything from invoicing dot invoices then I pick this one, Control C. From that one, so I select everything from invoices table where the invoice total ranges between 120 and 150. I want to check those values whether they correspond with a maximum value that is 87.44. Check. These are the values. These are the values. You can see the invoice total is a range between 120 and 150. What happens when I change this one to 130, for example? 230. So the maximum value here is 68. Let's see. And 130. Let's return those data. Very good. You can see the values that range between the invoice totals of 120 and 130. They are just two. We have 126.15 and 126.38. We have the payment totals here. Then from there you can see the maximum value is this one, the 68.1. Are we together at that point? That is how we apply those particular commands. So yes, Mary, you can talk.
I have a question.
Yes.
This phrase invoicing.invoices.
Yes. Mary, we are waiting for you.
If you're getting my point. Invoicing.invoices.
Yes.
Which one is the table and which one is, or is it an alias? Is it?
Oh, then
That dot. What does it represent? What is it?
Okay.
And at what time are we supposed to use it?
Okay. I will bring you back to our first lesson, And
Yes.
I want us to go to the first lesson.
Yes.
Let me open it here. Let me open it here. So the syntax for selecting or creating a table within a database must contain the database name and the name of the table that you want to create. Check here. When you are creating a table called school.managers, school.student, remember the syntax is create. I want you to start from here. We created a database called staff, for example, using these ones here. Create database staff. So this command will create the staff database. So if we want to create a table under this particular database, we must use dot here. So we create table staff.managers. So this table is called managers. Under which database? Under staff database. So the name of the database must appear first, then be separated with comma, then the name of the particular table. Umepata sasa?
Nimeelewa.
Okay, that is it.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. I want us to open another table here. and under the HR, I want us to open the HR database. Okay, just a minute, not the HR actually. The invoicing, and from invoicing you click this arrow, then you go on payment methods. You click this one here, payment methods. You click it. And you will get what? You will get that particular table. It has only 4 entries. It has 4 entries. I want to select the maximum payment method ID. Let's say the maximum. Will this one make sense? Let me check. Let me check here. Yes, you can open this one here. Then you can select the maximum client ID, where the phone number is this one. I think that one you can do at your own. Select everything from invoicing.client. So now, instead of using select all from, we select maximum, this one, using this syntax, this one here. We select the maximum client ID from this particular table. The table of the client is this one. Let's do it here. Control C. So for example here we can have select maximum what? Which entry do we need? We need a client ID. Client ID, then we close the bracket. Where are we selecting? We are selecting from invoicing.client. For example, when you select up to that point, you execute this command. You can see we have only 5, but now I want us we increase the condition, or we under condition. So we say where state is equals to tx. For example, I want to tell me what we expect to get even before we run the command. Where the state is equal to tx, Guys, what are we expecting to get from there? Will we get 5 or null? Will we get 5 or null? I want to hear from you. Benson, what do you think before we execute that command? What do you think? What do you think?
Blank.
Pardon? We will get null actually because let me check the maximum where tx. Let me see. Maximum from client ID is 5. Where the tx is no. So I'm mixing something here. This command should be a group by command, which we will be talking about. We will be talking about tomorrow. We will be talking about the group by command. You cannot use where to return operations in SQL. So mathematical operations. We use the group by command. We use the group by command to return those particular entries. So I can hand it here. I can hand it there. If you have any question, you can now ask. Ama mwenye hajakuwa successful to install the machine, we can continue from that point.
Niko na swali.
Yes. Pardon? Yeah? Aki hatukusikii vizuri. Is it possible you type under the comment section?
Hello.
Yes. Hebu ongea sasa.
Nilikuwa nasema kwa MySQL yako.
Nifungue MySQL. Yes.
But from the question kuna mtu ameuliza tu swali hapo nyuma about hiyo kuandika like in the first one invoicing.invoices.
Yes.
First, in the creation of tables, why should we write like if you were to create the table invoices, why must we write invoicing.invoices when we can just write create table invoices?
Yes, you can write the table invoice direct, but I have interacted with this workbench for some time. You will remember, you will notice that some versions, they accept the invoices, not some they accept the table name direct, others they accept this one here. For example, when you are dealing with the PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL will not allow the first name only, the first table name only. It will allow together with what? With this one here. So. But you can use this single one, especially, let me talk of the command prompt, the command line. The command line. When you are dealing with command line, you'll notice that you don't have to write these ones. It is not necessary that you write these ones here, the name of the database. But you can insert values direct into that particular database. Ni kama it's like ni kufunza kitu 3/4, si better you take it the whole kg so that you may not encounter any difficulty when you are dealing with other DBMS outside there, sindio? But it's not bad actually. You can write the name of the table. Sawa.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, I will take you in my command prompt. I want us, we'll deal with the command prompt just for a single. So this command prompt deals with the command line only. We don't have anything to click. Sawa. I want us, we open this database called invoicing. Sawa. And you will notice that when I will be opening it, I will not be using this one, the name of the database, when I want to return the tables. So just check its command line, MySQL command line. Okay, so the first heading is password actually. So let me insert my password. That is it. Now I want to see the databases that are present. So I use show databases. Then I click that one. You see what I have here is databases. I want to use the invoicing. Invoicing iko pahali hapa. Now I want to select everything from.
Sorry, I missed that. How you went into the command line?
Command line, you click and window search, window button, then S.
Okay.
Then you type command line.
Okay.
Then
okay.
itatoka hapo. Then you insert the password.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Command line ni same na shell.
Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it's the same as shell. Just open it. Nani ako na shell afungue tuone what is happening.
Mi niko nayo but sina command line.
Uko na shell? So the implementation, the commands are the same. Sawa. The commands are the same. So you can open it and see the databases that you have been creating on the Workbench. Now, the advantage of Workbench, hebu angalia the interface of the command line. Where can you click to open the database? Kuna pahali kweli? Hakuna. So that's why let me open it. I want us to open the same database. Invoicing. Oh, so use invoicing. Use that database called invoicing. Then I terminate. Yes, database changed. So I can select. I can show tables. Show tables. Show tables. You can see I have tables. I have number of tables here. So my main intention was to show you that it's not necessary you select that one. Now suppose I want to select the invoices. So I can select this way. I can select everything from invoices. So select everything from invoices. Then I can terminate. You can see what we have here is the data that is present in that particular invoice. So But now what happens when I click select everything from invoicing dot invoices and I click that one. You see we have the same. So it will return the same. So in
Excuse me.
yes.
Nimepata hiyo command line alafu sasa after ulikuwa umefungua databases umepataje hizi tables?
Hizi tables unaicommand unaiambia use invoicing, si ndio? Because you want to use that specific database, si ndio? So you type use invoicing, then unaweka semicolon, then you click enter. Itakwambia database changed, si ndio?
Yes.
Simekwambia hivyo, si ndio?
Then
type show tables. Imekuonyesha table in invoicing, imekupea zote, si ndio? Then type select star from invoices. Umepata, si ndio? So hiyo imepop out all the data that is present in that particular table, si ndio? Then ukitype tena hapo chini select everything from invoicing.invoices, you will get the same. Sawa? Are we together?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, the advantage of now Workbench is that how can you import data from Excel to this format while you are here on command line? Is it possible? It's possible, but very tricky, isn't it? It's possible, but very tricky and challenging. So that's why we decided to use this one here. But now I want us to select. If we return this one here, what is happening? What is happening? If we select select star from invoices without typing the word invoicing.invoices, what happens in SQL? From my side, I'm getting an error. I don't know whether you are getting it from your side. I'm getting the same.
Yangu inaleta output.
Yangu inaleta output. Yangu inaleta error. Nani mwingine? Hebu ngojea. Just a minute. I'm getting error from my side. But that is how we do those things. Usishtuke. Hata sisi tulifunza tu pole. Sawa. So you will get everything, by the way. SQL is very, very important. Hata tukiendelea next week hatutamaliza. So it's upon you uende ng'ang'anie invoices. It's upon you to go and do more research. Sawa. Another question. Ladies, I want to hear from you. I hope you are not floating, huh?
Bernard,
Yes.
is there hello?
Yes.
Is there a keyboard shortcut for running the command?
Shortcut for running the command on Workbench.
On the workbench, yeah.
Let me see. I think we have one. When you control enter, what is happening? Control enter.
I'm trying.
Control enter. Control enter. While your cursor is
Yep.
yeah, it's working. Cinder.
It's working.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
a
thanks.
shortcut. Nani mwingine ako na swali? Any other question? If you don't have any question, that's what we were supposed to cover today. So. And
I have a question.
Yes, Mary.
For those whose workbench isn't working, the SQL, I don't know, cloud or SQL something.
Yes, SQL.
Is it the workbench or?
Okay, it's like this, huh? SQL. We have a cloud computing that provides SQL services on cloud. So when we will be using the software to execute the command, you will be using that software online. Do you get the difference?
Yes.
Yeah. So I will send a video, a YouTube video link on how you can connect to that SQL cloud service. Actually, I don't know why SQL inakuanga inasumbua sometime, because
my SQL.
Yes.
Because I think I've ever tried installing SQL itself, and it's installed without issue. Yeah, but I was using also the studio. Yeah. So coming to my SQL, I'm wondering why it's not like configuring.
Okay, I want the IT guys to help us here. From my side, I installed SQL in the year 2019. But now I can't use XAMPP because of the ports they are using. They are the same. I don't know how those things are sorted out. So I have XAMPP in my comp, but I can't use it because I have already installed the MySQL. What's the reason behind that? I think guys in the group. What do you think? Chris. What is the difference? What is causing us not to install those SQL whereas we have other parts?
I also had the problem when I was installing mine.
Pardon?
Hello?
Yes?
I also had a problem when I was installing mine. It wasn't configuring. So when I checked, the server had a problem. Like the server was not running. If you start the workbench, the server is not running in the background. So I just at first I didn't know what the problem was, so I kept deleting the applications and installing. But I couldn't configure bado. So what I did, I just deleted all the applications, those others on MySQL, then deleted also the MySQL files. because the files doesn't go when we delete the application. So I was finishing the files, then now install the new one with the server now and to configure and it works. So I think it's a problem with the server, not the workbench.
Okay, is a problem with the server center. Oh, by the way, it's making sense, because when I'm using my SQL workbench, it's connecting to a server center, and it's connecting to that particular server through a certain port, the certain port number center. So when I tried to install the XAMPP wanted to use the same port, but the same port was being used by my SQL workbench, so it did not work. Is that making sense?
Yeah, so it's just the server. You just make sure you delete all the files and the email, you start afresh.
Okay, so I think I told Mr. John to help the other John to sort the issue in his machine. So I think tutasaidiana who was not. Yes.
So does it mean like my SQL and like let's say another new of 6 of SQL cannot work together? Like let's say SQL and my SQL can't, because they're using different ports or something like that. Does it mean they can work in the same machine together or they cannot?
Okay, that's the argument that we have, because we are not sure. Yes, Phoebe, I can see you have raised your hand. Because, yes?
Okay, may think if there is a problem in the server, you can check your status. You can check the SQL status, if it's running or it's not running. To check it, you can go to the search, the window search, you search for service.
Okay.
And you search.
Okay, before you continue, please, Phoebe and Mary, do you know how to use the team viewer? I want Phoebe to help Mary.
The team viewer? No, not really. I started using it.
But you can, Phoebe can connect to your machine remotely and work it out if something like that. Is it making sense?
Okay.
Phoebe, are you willing to help your fellow sister?
Okay.
Okay. Just.
Is she? Oh, Phoebe. Hi. Are you helping me right now or at what time or tomorrow?
Okay, I'll contact
you. Or you let me.
Okay, later.
Okay. Let's assume that is sorted out. So, any other question? Or any other concern? I think you can end the class there for today. So, that's what we were supposed to cover today. Tomorrow we will be doing something complex, that is joining tables. And from that, it's upon you now to go and do more research. At least you have a glimpse of what MySQL or what the SQL language is. So it's upon you to go and do more research, sharpen your knowledge well on that field. So I wish you a good night. You can leave at your own pleasure. Good day.